Have you ever been in a situation where you felt confused about the way a woman touches you? You may have wondered if it was just a friendly gesture, or if there was something more to it. There's something uniquely powerful about physical touch. It can communicate emotions, intentions, and sometimes confusion. Her touch can leave you questioning whether it's just innocent or if it carries a deeper meaning. Well, in this discussion, we're going to break down 9 mixed signals in her touch and what they really mean first. Let's talk about the gentle brush of the hand. You know that moment when you're standing close to each other and she brushes? Her hand against yours unintentionally, but with a certain softness? You might think it's just an accident, a mere slip, but it could be more than that. A gentle touch like this can often indicate an unspoken desire to be closer. It's subtle, but intentional. Her hand grazing yours might be her way of testing the waters, seeing how you react. Well, if you reciprocate, it could open up a door to something deeper. If she pulls back quickly, it may mean she's uncertain or shy about taking things further. The important thing is to pay attention to the context, the body language that surrounds it. Now let's consider the lingering touch, which can feel incredibly intimate. If she touches you and lets her hand rest for a moment, even if it's just a brief second, it could be a sign of emotional connection when someone touches you and keeps their hand there just a bit longer than expected. It often reflects trust and comfort. She might feel safe in your presence and enjoys the physical connection. If this lingering touch happens often, it's a sign that she may want to build a closer bond, even if she doesn't say it outright. The meaning behind it is clear. She values being close to you and is comfortable with the intimacy. Moving on to a more playful touch. Perhaps she taps you lightly on the arm, or maybe she gives you a quick, affectionate poke. This kind of playful touch often signifies a lighthearted connection. It can show that she's interested in you, but not in a serious or overly intimate way. It's more about creating a fun, friendly energy. What if it's repeated, and if she uses it as a way to get your attention? It could be an indication that she's flirting with you. She's looking for a reaction, maybe even testing the waters to see if you'll respond in kind. Her playful touch is her way of engaging you in a casual, yet meaningful way. Next, think about the touch that comes with a smile. When she touches you while smiling, whether it's a friendly pat on the back or a touch on the arm, the smile adds a layer of warmth and affection to the gesture. It's not just about the touch itself, but the emotions behind it. A smile can soften the impact of the touch, making it feel less intense and more genuine. Her smile paired with touch is a clear signal that she enjoys your company and wants to maintain a positive and warm connection. It's the kind of touch that says, "I appreciate you," without needing words sometimes. Her touch can feel assertive, maybe even possessive. If she places her hand on your chest or around your waist, it might feel more protective than affectionate. This kind of touch could be her way of expressing a deeper emotional investment. She might feel protective over you or want to establish her place in your life. However, this can also be a sign of insecurity. She may be signaling to you that she wants to know where she stands or is feeling possessive in some way. If she's showing this kind of touch, it's important to reflect on the dynamics of your relationship and what the touch might represent for both of you then. There's the sudden touch when she's stressed or anxious. Maybe you've been with her in a situation where something intense is happening. She suddenly grabs your hand or clings to your arm. This kind of touch can reveal a lot about how she's feeling in that moment. It's not about affection or flirtation, about seeking comfort and reassurance. Her touch in these moments might indicate that she relies on you for emotional support. It could be a cry for help or a request for you to be there for her if this touch happens when she's feeling vulnerable. It's a clear signal that she trusts you to offer support in times of stress at times. The way she touches you can be a sign of attraction. If she intentionally places her hand on your shoulder, or her hand lingers in yours during a conversation, it could be an unconscious way of saying, "I'm interested in you." These touches, though subtle, communicate a desire for more than just a friendly connection. They are gentle, but firm signs of affection and attraction. If you notice that these touches happen often, or if she seems to look at you differently while touching you, there's a good chance she's testing the waters to see how you feel about her. Then we have the touch that feels like it's meant to communicate care. When she touches you, not in a playful way, but with a sense of tenderness, such as smoothing down your shirt or brushing your hair away from your face. It's often a gesture of care. She might be showing that she's looking out for you, or that she's in tune with your needs. This touch often signifies that she wants to take care of you in some way. It's a soft and compassionate touch that shows she's emotionally connected to you. If she touches you this way, it means that she sees you as someone important to her, finally. Let's discuss the touch that feels ambiguous. Perhaps she touches you, but you're unsure of her intentions. It could be a hand on your arm, a tap on your back, or even a hug that feels slightly out of place. If the touch leaves you wondering what it means, it could be a sign of mixed feelings. She might be unsure about her feelings or the direction of the relationship. Touch may be a reflection of confusion or hesitation. It's important to pay attention to the context and other signs to understand the underlying message. To wrap up, touch is a powerful form of communication, can express emotions, intentions, and even confusion. The key is to pay attention to the way she touches you, the context in which it happens, and the feelings it evokes. Understanding these mixed signals can help you navigate your relationship with more clarity, and it can guide you in interpreting her feelings without needing words. Physical touch can say a lot about how someone feels, and when you understand the different meanings behind these touches, you can communicate on a deeper level without saying a single word when it comes to understanding mixed signals in her touch. It's also crucial to remember that context matters more than anything. Every gesture, every touch, every movement can mean something different depending on the situation, the emotional state, and the environment in which it takes place. Her touch isn't just a physical action. It's deeply connected to what's going on around her, what's happening in her life, and what's happening in your dynamic together. Take, for example, the touch when she's laughing. If her hand rests on your arm or back during a laugh, and it's not a casual laugh, but one that feels more connected, it could be a signal that she's trying to bond with you in a more playful, carefree way. The laughter adds an extra layer to the touch. It's a signal that she's letting down her guard and inviting you into her space. Both emotionally and physically in this case, her touch is less about flirtation and more about creating a connection. Through shared enjoyment and fun, it's about sharing a moment of joy together and making the interaction lighthearted and positive. But let's take this a step further. What about the touch in a more intimate or serious moment? Perhaps you've had a long, deep conversation, and she places her hand on your knee or your shoulder. This kind of touch can indicate emotional vulnerability. When the atmosphere becomes more serious, and she decides to touch you, it often reflects that she's emotionally open and is choosing to be more vulnerable with you. It's an invitation to understand her on a deeper level and to be a part of her personal space during a time when emotions are more heightened. Her touch in such moments signals that she trusts you enough to open up emotionally. The same goes for physical contact during moments of mutual understanding. If she touches your hand after you've shared something meaningful or personal, it often means that she acknowledges what you said and wants to make a deeper connection with you. It's her way of saying, "I'm here with you," or "I understand what you're going through." In these moments, her touch becomes an emotional bridge, closing any gaps between you and making the bond stronger. It's not just a touch, it's a message that you've shared something important, and she's showing empathy through her physical presence. Now, you also have to consider the touch that happens when there's a little bit of tension in the air. Maybe you're having a disagreement, or there's some awkwardness between you. You might notice that she touches you more frequently. In these moments, perhaps on the arm, shoulder, or back. This can be her way of seeking reassurance, trying to ease the tension between you, or to break the discomfort. It's a subtle yet powerful gesture to reconnect in a physical sense when words don't seem enough. The touch, in this case, becomes a reminder that despite the tension, she wants to maintain a connection with you. She's looking for emotional resolution. The touch becomes a form of soothing that words might not be able to do in the moment. Another aspect to consider is the touch during moments of closeness. Maybe you're sitting together and she rests her head on your shoulder or leans into you. This kind of touch reflects a high level of comfort and emotional intimacy. It says that she feels safe with you and wants to share this intimate space without words. It's one of the clearest signals that she's not just comfortable in your presence, but she enjoys being there with you. She might not always verbalize it, but through this physical connection, she is showing you that she values you and cherishes the moment. What about the type of touch that's non-committal, but still there? Sometimes, she may lightly touch your hand when walking together, or perhaps give you a gentle push while playfully teasing you. This could suggest she's still trying to figure out her feelings or gauge your reactions. The touch isn't intimate, but it's not entirely neutral either. It's a way for her to see if you'll respond to her playfulness, see if you'll reciprocate, or maybe just feel the vibe between you both. It's light, sometimes teasing, but always with an intention of observing how things unfold between you. On the flip side, let's talk about when she pulls away after touching you. You may have noticed that after a brief touch, she suddenly steps back or withdraws. This could be an indication that she's unsure of her feelings or doesn't want to seem to forward. Because it felt right. But once she has time to process the situation, she may retreat a bit. This withdrawal can indicate a level of emotional uncertainty. And it's important to recognize that it's not a rejection, simply her taking a step back to process her emotions. These mixed signals can sometimes leave you feeling unsure or confused, and that's perfectly okay. The key here is to pay attention to the emotional undercurrent that surrounds these touches. Her physical gestures are often her way of communicating feelings that she may not have the words for. The subtlety of touch allows her to convey emotions that words alone may not be able to express. It's important to be aware of the nonverbal cues, like her body language, facial expressions, and overall energy. When trying to understand what she's really feeling, in addition to understanding her signals, you must also focus on how you're reacting. If you're noticing these touches, but unsure of how to respond, take a moment to assess your own feelings. Are you comfortable with the touch? Do you feel the same way? Or are you unsure? Your own emotional state will influence how you interpret her actions. If you're unsure, it's always best to communicate. Touch can be powerful. Communication is just as essential for understanding the deeper layers of any relationship.